Okay, super duper. We got things taken care of, you guys. My name is Jeff Ashby, Ambassador for Engage Global. You see that there down in a little name corner, it will say Jeff and Helen. Uh, but we just got back from taking some needed relaxation time here in Thermopolis, Wyoming, one of the largest mineral hot springs. And so it was just a fantastic way of connecting with a lot of our friends at the hot springs. And then, with this being Palm Sunday, the other responsibilities that we have, but I thought we'd sneak in just a quick little soak here before the call. Amazing opportunities, and you saw the thumbnail. This is about our stories. As we get underway today, it's important, though, that we make sure that we are protected from comments being made that could be construed as making any medical claims. And so I am just going to pull up here onto the screen for all of our benefits our disclaimer. Please follow along with me as I read here. These statements and comments have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This information is solely for educational purposes only and includes recent advances in research on micronutrients. Engage, the micronutrient company, does not claim that our products diagnose, treat, cure, heal, or prevent any disease or injury. However, Engage's products are formulated to address nutritional deficiencies and supply the body with the required nutrients. It is important to note that nothing here is meant to be a substitute for professional medical treatment or a consultation with your primary healthcare provider. So that having been stated, just one moment, I will pull those words off of the screen. And it's important, though, that we protect ourselves that way, because what we're talking about here, our stories, are those stories related to what these incredible products have done for us. It is amazing that we have access to the incredible individual that we do, Dr. Kedar Prasad. And even though on the corporate calendar it shows Dr. Prasad being here today, he called me yesterday, and he had an opportunity with his extended family to do some things here on Palm Sunday. And so he asked if he could be excused today. And I says, absolutely. As much as Dr. Prasad is here, is available for us, it's also important that we give him that time to be with his family, because that's truly why all of us work as hard as we do, is so that we can have that family time, that we can be there in the lives of others and serving others. So thank you for the opportunity, Jonathan, that you've given me to be here today on this Palm Sunday to share with all of you my heartfelt gratitude for Dr. Prasad, who he is. I'm going to just pull it up here on the screen so that we get a chance to truly see who he is, the significance of what this individual has brought to the world. This is Dr. Kedar Prasad, the world's foremost radiation expert. You can see right there under accolades, world's first radiation biology PhD, University of Iowa back in 1963. Then his career went on to where he ended up discovering the anti-cancer potency of vitamin E succinate, discovered that butyric acid, the small fatty acid formed by fermentation of fibers in the gut, is also an anti-cancer agent. And then I'd like to draw your attention under the credentials there. He says the last one under credentials is attended postdoctoral training at Brookhaven National Laboratories in Long Island, New York. And the reason that I take a moment to point that out here on this Sunday afternoon is because that in that capacity is where Dr. Prasad ended up meeting his sweetheart, Judy, who was his lab assistant there at Brookhaven National Laboratories. And so we always talk about Dr. Prasad having the security clearances that he still holds today, and being able to work with others in that capacity of very secure research. It was also his sweetheart, his wife Judy, that had a similar capacity, and interesting how their lives came together as they are perfecting formulas, as they're working with science and scientific research it's just amazing that we have access to both of them. So when Dr. Prasad asked if he could take some time with family today, I absolutely wholeheartedly says yes, yes, please do that. Family is so important. As we go on there with the science booklet, sharing just a little bit of Dr. Prasad's story, and that's how I wanted to start out today. As we bring stories, we realize that Dr. Prasad ended up conducting 17 lectures to military scientists and worked with Congress for 2 years to gain competitive approval for the funding necessary to complete the scientific validation process for microdaily. 6 years and 14 clinical studies later, Dr. Prasad successfully demonstrated that microdaily is indeed the world's most scientifically validated supplement. It's amazing that we have access to these incredible formulations. You look there at the timeline back in 2001, you can all do the math. If we're sitting here in 2024 already, how many years have transpired that when this first was brought forward and Dr. Prasad started that process. It's amazing. As we were in the hot springs, I was talking to a biochemist, and she was just mentioning the significance of where we're at in understanding the human body and how Dr. Prasad has known so many things for so many years. There is no one else that can claim this many publications. 33 books in the areas of cancer and nutrition and neurological diseases and Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, Huntington's, traumatic brain injuries, plus all of his works on radiation. And then you look at the number of patents and patents that are pending from this page. All of you tomorrow suggest that you come back where you're going to have an opportunity to see the new science booklet as it relates to patents that have been issued, clinical trials that took place. It's amazing that we can reference all of these things, and that's part of the story. When we're bringing our stories, it's these types of things that really make the difference. And so before I pull this off the screen, I want to point out to you one of the human clinical trials. It's on the right-hand side of this page. It says improved recovery from concussive injury from blast. These are dizziness and balance disorders. It was with U.S. veterans that had been injured in Iraq and Afghanistan at the Naval Medical Center in San Diego. And the reason that I'm pointing that out is because this is where our story begins, where particularly we had an opportunity of understanding these products, getting to realize the significance of what they are doing for others. Many of you know that the first opportunity we had of seeing this was through Helen's girlfriend, who just handed her one of the original military packages. This package that I'm holding up here in front of the camera, you can see one side it says morning, one side it says evening, and military micronutrient formulation. This was affectionately known as MMF back then, but having a meeting in our home, being, sampling this, being excited about it, it also coincided with, I think of it as an opportunity. My father was one of the owners of Industrial Container and Supply in Salt Lake City. And as a family business, we provided empty vitamin bottles, much like this that our CBD Boost comes in. I could tell you the manufacturer of the bottle, the cap, the seal, bottles like this that our children's gummies come in. We provided as a family business those types of containers to the supplement industry. And so at 18 years old, when I legally could get into one of our delivery vans because of the GVW, I needed to have a commercial driver's license. But I started delivering these empty bottles to companies like Nature's Sunshine Products, Nature's All, Nature's Way, Nature's Pharma, Nature's Botanicals, Solaray, USANA, New Skin, Melaleuca, Zango, Zariz, Zija. You just go down through all of the supplement companies that not only came out of Utah, parts of Idaho, Arizona, California. We were delivering these empty vitamin bottles. Well, at the point where these products were brought into our lives, it came in not a bottle. I mean, it was really my dad and I for years kind of laughed about this experience. And the reason I bring my dad in is because he had retired from industrial container and supply. His partners had bought him out, but he was still sitting as one of the board members for the North American Container Distributors Group. 7 appointed positions. He was still in that capacity. But at 75 years old, his partners wanted to buy him out. And it just as clear as day, I can remember getting a phone call from my mom saying, something has happened to your dad. It was on his way out to get the mail that day, that afternoon, like 2:30 in the afternoon on a Wednesday. Dad Dad suffered the symptoms of a stroke. It affected the entire left side of his body. Difficulties grasping anything. His gait was changed. He was very dizzy, disoriented, unable to really communicate the thoughts that were going on. He could speak okay, but he just obviously something had happened. My mom had made an appointment with the neurologist to go in and see the neurologist the next day. So on Thursday, well, we had heard as we were sampling these products ourselves, like this was in our home. We were several days into our own experience with these products when I got this call from my mom, and my mom, tearfully says something has happened to your dad, and I had that thought, well, what about that human clinical trial that I had heard about just days earlier? I wonder if this could help dad because he had had a brain trauma. A stroke is just that. Part of the brain is shut off. Oxygenated blood is not able to get there. The waste is not taken away. The nourishment is not brought to it. And a portion of the brain begins to shut down because it's just because of that stroke. Well, I got one of our leaders, a doctor that we had met, and I did a phone call, a 3-way phone call with this doctor and my mom, and she says, I will meet your mom off of the freeway and get her a sample for your father. But Wednesday evening, so you can see us here, it says evening on the one side, we come down to Wednesday. She said, instead of just having your husband or your dad take 2 of these capsules, what I would recommend is that he 3 times that dose. And so I'm going to give you 3 of these cards, and I want you to break out these capsules Wednesday evening times each card. So a total of 6 capsules Wednesday evening. On Thursday morning, I want you to do the same thing. I want you to break out these little blister packs here. Take 2 capsules from each card for Thursday morning. And then Thursday before you go into the doctor's, I'd like you to do the same thing and call that your evening dose. And so 6 more capsules before the doctor's appointment on Thursday. Absolutely amazing experience, what happened with my dad. And as part of this story, I went back into some of my older videos, and I was able to find, because both mom and dad are no longer with us. This was 11 years ago that we saw Engage and the military micronutrient formulation to begin with, now known as Micro Daily. And you can see how well dad is doing in this video. In fact, he's standing up in front of a group in a hotel describing his experience. And I can remember my mom sitting there on the front row. Dad, I was up introducing him. I handed him the microphone, And I'd like to, as part of my story today, because we're not able to have Dr. Prasad here with us, but to start this out, sharing my story, uh, I'd like to share with you a really sweet opportunity to go back and relive an experience with both of my parents. You'll hear my mom in the background from the front row, but be thinking of the story that you're going to bring forward today. What story would you like to share about your beginning with Engage Global? And it could be a story that just happened this last week, things, circumstances coming together, and you're just experiencing it. So let me share this very special opportunity. And I'm glad I just held up. In fact, it was Helen that was sitting on the front row next to my mom that held up her phone and just captured this little segment with Dad that I just cherish today. And hopefully you'll understand how much family means to us and what it means to have had an answer for Dad and the situation that he faced. So um, here we go.
Well, first of all, the doctor didn't know what had happened to me. And I described some of the things that had gone on. He said, well, I think you probably just had a stress attack, perhaps dehydration. And it was a couple of months later, annual appointment with the ophthalmologist, and I said, I've got a little bit of loss of peripheral vision here. He said, I'll put you on the machine, see what that is. And he came back and he said, both eyes are suffering that, and you had a stroke right back here. He said, I've seen that before. I'll send a letter with you to your doctor. Took me to the doctor. He looked at it, sent me in for all the tests, and sure enough, that's what it was. But I have something that none of the rest of you have. I have a little vial with MMF in it. Twice a week in the evening, I usually get an opportunity to speak, talk, an hour at a time, maybe 3 hours in a row. I get a little hoarse in my throat, sometimes have to cough and can't get over it. I take a little bit of that, toss it under my tongue. In a few minutes, I'm back to normal. It's like those who take nitroglycerin. It goes right into the body because of being in the isoform. I couldn't get along without that. That's what I'm doing.
And his hair is growing back.
And I have hair growing back.
You can't see it, but he has to shave it off.
She levels it out because it goes all different directions. But when it gets through filling in, well, then I'll have it back.
A special opportunity to relive a moment with my parents. Had it not been for the micronutrients and microdaily, Dad was still affectionately referring to it as MMF, or military micronutrient formulation. But you saw that even back then, he was opening the capsules, putting them in a little vial, and having that be his go-to when his throat got a little scratchy. He just believed that much in the product. And then to see other changes that were happening in our family, it truly set our feet on a path to go out and help others. Has it always been easy? Has it been worth it? Absolutely. Have we met some of the very best friends that we could ever have that are on the earth with us at this time? Because we know we have each other's backs. We know we're all about really helping others understand the feeling of family and what it's like to come together and invite people into our homes, even vicariously, like we are doing here with this Zoom platform that is being streamed. It's just a fantastic opportunity for us to lock arms and bear one another's burdens and to just be there for each other. And so as we started out the stories today, many of you have heard Helen's story about our one of our grandsons and his challenges. Many of you have heard stories about a daughter-in-law that was told she could never have children. And I see how blessed we are as a family, Helen and I, with 36 grandchildren. And the ability that our our lives now have of being able to see them, be part of their experiences, travel the country, meet many of you and your families and how close you are. And so I know I've taken up a little bit of time here as we start this opportunity to share stories. But if any of the rest of you would like to come forward, just go ahead and raise your hand in the chat, or in the participants. Just go down along the bottom. You'll see it'll have a reaction, but it'll say raise your hand. And I'd love to hear from some of you, your stories. And I think just a week ago today, when we had Dr. Prasad and Jonathan on, and we were talking about high blood pressure and the things that are changing in people's bodies because we are now correcting that micronutrient deficiency. So I'm going to just open it up. This is our story time. We got about a half an hour left. And then I'm going to make some announcements as far as tomorrow is concerned, and the significance of tomorrow being the 25th, and what we could all take advantage of. So I'm just looking for the next individual that feels comfortable enough opening up their camera, and you don't even need to figure out how to. Oh, there she is, Daniela. Love to hear from you. So I'm going to just pull you up here onto the screen. You'll need to unmute yourself. So we'll add the spotlight, and once you click that little unmute button,
okay, there I go.
Awesome. Share with us your story.
Well, I'm outside and I'm hearing a lawnmower now, so I hope you guys can hear me. But I wanted to first of all thank you for letting me speak, and thank you for sharing your daddy. What a lovely man he was. I can see where you get some of your personality and your sweetness. So thank you for sharing that encouragement, because I actually know a lot of people who have been having strokes. So that's very encouraging, because it's a really scary thing, and a lot of people go through a lot of therapy and don't have the results. So wow, your dad was just looking amazing. What a blessing. And so I have to concur with what you were saying, that it was a blessing. And I know the Lord sent Microdaily to me, because I had COVID 5 times and it was pretty bad. And I'm a chaplain, and I actually am asked to blow a shofar at religious events to release the blessing of the Lord. And if anybody's ever tried to blow a shofar, it takes a lot of breath. And so the enemy, I believe, through COVID had taken my breath, and I was having a really hard time with my breathing and even the coughing. And when Beth Sturdivant said that after 21 days of fasting, that the Lord had brought her Microdaily, she said, you have to take it. This is going to help you, and this is going to help your lungs. And I took a therapeutic dose, and I have to testify that it helped my lungs and it cleared me up, and I was able to blow the shofar incredibly. Actually, it's almost like God gave me more breath. So I know that we don't say we diagnose, treat, or cure, but let me tell you, the Lord made Dr. Prasad to be the person who had the wisdom and wherewithal to create this product, and he brought the people together to bring it to the people and bring healing to the body, because God made the body and the body heals itself, but it needs stuff to heal. And so Microdaily has definitely been my answer. With having had COVID 5 times, it really weakens the body, and there aren't any answers out there. Nobody really has anything. And so for me, it was a blessing. And I need to throw in, I forgot, it shows you how it goes. I had shingles because my immune system was so overtaxed with the COVID. I got shingles on top of having the COVID. So I had them simultaneously, and my lesions were the size of dimes. They were so big that when the doctor saw them, because I thought, what, did I get poison ivy? Is it, what is this? And the doctor said it was the worst case of shingles he'd ever seen. And so building your immune system and having something like Micro Daily to help your body to recover is amazing, because I can say I'm stronger and better now. And I'm going to throw in my husband and the 2 pastors that he's taken mountain biking. And now, because of us having added the hydro to the, EMF, and they're sweating out their mountain biking, I was like, come on, guys, you need to try this. And one of the pastors, he was not even bringing the right amount of water. And he just, oh my God, he looked so awful. I thought he was going to collapse. And I said, listen, hold on. I've got some Micro Daily with hydro. You need to pop this and try it and see what it does. He went from peaked and just down and out to, it was within 5 minutes, he had a turnaround to where he was all perked up. It was like he went from dehydrated to plump. And he was just amazed. So I want to say this product is not only for those fighting illness or, needing to strengthen their immune system, but for people that are into health and wellness, it'll give you that edge. So praise the Lord for Micro Daily, and thank you for your hard work and sharing it with those that need it. And, because didn't you share it with Beth?
Yes. Yep, we met Beth in a parking lot of her health food store. So
So thank you. So see, I'm tag, you were the connection. So thank you, and God bless you.
thank you so much, Danielle. Appreciate it. Wow, as a chaplain, amazing opportunity for you to just share this. And so thank you for coming on and
Thank
doing
you.
that. Yeah. And just like I mentioned here with my father's experience, Chaplain Daniela talked about that COVID and it so affected her lungs. And just like the human clinical trial on the Marines that were suffering combat-related concussions, um, Chaplain Daniela brought forward another one of the human clinical trials, and that is the protection against oxidative stress, U.S. Marines in harsh environments at the Mountain Warfare Training Center. So very high altitude, very cold, 2 stressors on the human lungs. And this supplement that Dr. Prasad created for the military had fantastic results. And so when you've got a human clinical trial that says it's going to help your lungs, and then a patent that says pulmonary health, which is lung health, you know that we're onto something. So thank you, Chaplain. All right, who is next? Who would like to come forward and share their story here as we are reviewing stories on this Sunday afternoon, early evening? Just go ahead and open up your microphones, open up your cameras. We'd love to see you. I just while I'm waiting for a hand to go up or a microphone to open up, I'm going to share something else that Chaplain Daniela just referenced, and that is how quickly this formula can work in somebody's body, and just how fast these micronutrients are carried into the bloodstream, particularly using that hydro delivery. In fact, I don't know if Jonathan has shared this video recently, but while we're waiting for somebody else's hand to go up, let me, I know it's a video, but this is Dr. Gregerson's experience with the product. And so let me just share that here this afternoon as she talks about her daughter and how these products have helped her and how quickly it works. And we get a little chance to see Dr. Prasad at the end of it. So get ready to have your hands raised and share your story as we go forward. But let's go with this one.
Okay, so I am a naturopath. I'm in Idaho Falls, Idaho. And a lot of the things that we do is to help people balance their body, because a balanced body heals itself. So we use the microscopic, it's called microscopy. And we look at people's live blood as it's working right then. And then we dry the blood. And the way that the blood dries different enzymes, tells us a lot about what's going on in their body. We can find anything from heart sign to lymphatic problems to absorption, to all kinds of different things that we can see in the blood. It is a proven practice. They've been doing this for years. And you just can't argue with live blood that's right in front of you. And we do it so that people can see the live results right then. Well, my daughter's allergic to the capsules that are on the microdaily EMF. We tried opening the capsules, but the allergy is so bad that there was enough frequency from the capsules that she would still have problems, and she would almost go into anaphylaxis even when we emptied it. So I, for a long time, was really pushing to get this hydro product in because I knew how much she needed it. Well, I haven't checked her blood for a long time, and she happened to be here yesterday, and I took her blood, and as her mom, I just started to cry. It's really bad. So put the first 2 slides on. This is what we saw. The first slide that you will see there is extremely bad EMF. She lives in Oregon, but she works in Boise. They're just right there on the border, and a lot of EMF around her. I've got her stuff protected as much as I can, but it's just not enough with all the towers. And you can see how the blood cells are sticking together. When they do that, when blood goes through your system, so as your blood needs to go through this microcirculation, it has to go through one cell at a time. And if it's not going through one cell at a time, you're not getting the food in or the garbage out. And with it all coagulated, it's really hard to see. So on the first one, you can see the cells are so stuck to each other. There's no way that's getting in her circulation. She has severe autoimmune. She is barely eating. She's really sick. And that's one reason she came in. On the second slide, it's just another view of the same drop of blood. You can see it's all relayed. But the scary thing about that one, which was in the other one too, but they were so stuck together you couldn't see it, is how misshapen every cell is. They look like water bombs. They look like spiked balls in there. Very few of her cells looked normal. Maybe 10% of all of her blood looked like it had, looked normal. They all looked like donuts, which is malnutrition, low B vitamins or low iron. They were all misshapen. And it was really scary for me as her mom to see that. Any patient, this would have scared me, but having be my own daughter was really bad. So we gave her 2 of the micro dailies because I wanted her to try it to see if she could take them now. She tasted it. It didn't bother her. She waited a minute. She drank the whole thing. And 15 minutes later, we checked her blood again because I wanted to see what it would do, never expecting what I'm seeing on this next slide. So here's the after slide. If you look at it, and I mean, I could have taken 15 different pictures of it. You can see the slide, the cells are round. They're less stuck together. There's a couple in there that are still stuck, but they're not stuck like they were before. This means that she started getting immediate hydration. She started getting immediate delivery to other parts of her body because it could get into the microcirculation and it could do what our blood's meant to do. So this was all really fun. And I did this while I was doing the call earlier today at 1 o'clock. My Janice does a lot of my blood work, and she was there doing someone else's blood. And on a whim, she decided to see what it would do if.
Where?
Huh?
Oh,
Keep going.
Okay, so we decided to see what it would do if we dried the blood and see what the differences are, because we didn't think to do that yesterday. So while I was on the call, she was doing that. I walked in as soon as we hung up and she said, look at this. And so put the new slides on, the first one. Or both. Okay, so the one on the left, I circled it and you can see those white spots in there. That can indicate a major amount of cellular declines. It might, sometimes that shows up as a cancer, major inflammation. It does definitely show a degenerative disease. This lady has been pre-diagnosed by an oncologist with cancer, and she's been coming in for body balancing. So she took it 15 minutes later, we took and did the same slide, and the entire touch of blood on that looks like that second picture, the after. It immediately changed how the blood was drying, even in her body. This is huge because we usually wait 2 to 3 weeks to see any kind of a difference at all. I was in shock that we were able to do that. So I didn't send all the slides, but we did it with 2 other people that were there too, and I'm getting the same results. So if this can make that big of a change in your body in 15 minutes, what's it gonna do if you're drinking it all day long? If you're taking it every day for the next 10 years, it's got to help all of those degenerative diseases. It's got to help that autoimmune that I've been seeing in the blood. I am so excited to see what this looks like in 24 hours or 48 hours or 2 weeks. I just have never seen results like this as long as I've had my practice.
Can I ask you one question? The
Yes.
previous slide, that of your daughter's slide, first slide, the blood cell looks like a before treatment. Had a lot of vacuoles. Did you see vacuoles
It did.
there?
Tons of them.
Yeah,
More,
yeah, right there.
more than I've ever seen before, but it wasn't just that, it was the whole slide was
Yeah.
full of.
So that was amazing. There's so much vacuoles there, and then they disappear.
In 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That means that every organ in the body had to be working
Okay.
together in order to do that, because I mean, the blood's gonna go through the liver, it's gonna go through a lot of places from the time it hits the stomach. So what that's telling me is when it hits your mouth, it immediately is going out sublingually into the body. That's the only way it could have done, is to be
Yeah,
absorbed.
exactly. Absorption is very quick.
Yeah, I mean, it had to have absorbed so fast to get to the liver and to the everything that's cleaning that blood.
Exciting, very exciting.
You know what an amazing story. I never tire of seeing just firsthand how quickly these micronutrients can support the body in whatever outcome it is desiring. So I see that we've got 2 hands that are up, and just got a private message here from Dr. Roberts. She's traveling and says, can I go next? Linda, Ivan, if you're okay with that, let me call on Dr. Roberts first, and then we'll, as soon as we're finished with Dr. Roberts, I'll have you come up, Linda. So
That's great. Actually, it's Richard, but that's okay.
okay.
That's okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
Super. Okay, Dr. Roberts. So we're going to go ahead and just pull you up here onto the screen.
All right,
Great.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Linda and Richard, doctors. I appreciate this. I am in the next 10 minutes jumping in this car, headed toward Mississippi for a physical challenge, Jeff, and we'll talk about all of that later. However, my story and how I got started in this business is just absolutely a phenomenal story for me, because I sit here to tell you all about it, and I thank the Lord for it. I am talking and speaking for those who have respiratory issues. And I'm here to tell you one thing for sure. It has been a long, hard road for me to get to where I am right now. I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis at the age of 19 and was put on INH and prednisones. As a result of that, I lost my spleen. My spleen ruptured. I could have died, and was expected to tell you the truth. The expectation of me to live has been very slim, according to the medical profession, since I have been diagnosed with this sarcoidosis. And some of the things that I've experienced as a result of having the sarcoid, which has been really, really tough, and that is dealing with pneumonias annually. Almost every year I knew that I would get a pneumonia. But in 2021, I'm going to just bring this up real close and personal. I was diagnosed with double pneumonia in both lungs, and that was during the time of COVID, when it was like everything was COVID. But they told me, you definitely have pneumonia in both lungs, and if we don't put you on the respirator, the ventilator, whatever that thing is that they were, both of those things they were trying to get me on. Uh, I, I was not going to make it at all. And I refused because I had heard not only from Jeff that it was no good idea, but many of those whose loved ones had died on that ventilator. I decided, no, I wasn't going to do that. And I'm going to tell you, I thank God for my business partner, Corleen Chavis, who just absolutely had talked so much about this product and said, you absolutely need this product. In addition to that, Dr. LaJoyce Brookshire, who is a naturopath and a very good friend of mine, called and said, hey, listen, this is what you're going to do. You are not going to die. You're going to come up out of here, and we're going to get you on Dr. Prasad's products. And as a result of her talking with my medical doctor, that's exactly what happened. And we got on the product after I got out of the hospital. And here I am today to talk about it. It is so much that I could say from the beginning of the story to the ending of the story. But I just want to impress upon anybody who has a problem with your lungs and your respiratory system at all, be it asthma, I don't care what it is. I really do believe that if you use these products and use them right, and it took me a long time to use them right for many reasons. One reason is because I had invested in so many, I had a plethora of other food supplements that I had been trying down through the years, and companies after companies of products in my cabinet. And one day I heard Dr. Prasad say, my product have been scientifically validated with $24 million behind it. Understand what I have in this product is what you need to give yourself an overall health wellness checkup. And I said, let me just try that. And I promise you guys, when I finally put everything down and started just using the Engage Micro Daily micronutrients with Dr. Prasad on every bottle, I feel so much better. And if I had to give you just one product that I really, really love, I couldn't give you one. I would just tell you that it is the 4-4 plus, because I use all of the product. They are packed and ready to go with me wherever I go. Jeff, I thank you. I thank you, Jonathan, in your absence, because I know you're going to be viewing this, for doing this every Sunday, the faithfulness. And that's the other thing that I realized, Jeff, is you must be consistent with this business, with this product, and with sharing it with everybody you know. Thank you all so much. Pray for me as we are journeying toward our Resurrection Sunday. This is Palm Sunday for us. And indeed, we are so looking forward to hearing what is going to be said on tomorrow as we journey to the end of this month. A lot of good things are happening here in Engage Global. Thank you, Jeff.
You bet. That's amazing. And yes, travel safe. You'll go with our prayers.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Great testimony. All righty. So Linda and Rich or
Rich
and Dr. Yeah. All right. So can you turn your camera on, or are you just
I'm in we're on the way to a church service, so the camera won't work on the phone. But this is our story, and it has to do with Linda and I meeting two friends, namely Beth and Rebecca, being invited to a meeting with Dr. Corbier, and we met two wonderful people, namely you and Helen. We were able to have dinner that night. Felt like brothers and sisters, like we've known you all our lives. And because you, I'm going to get emotional about this, because you took the time to come 2.5 hours to Asheville the next afternoon to do a meeting, and then we were able to spend a couple hours with you and Helen. All the testimonies and all the stories, not all of them, but generally we talk about our health. Not only do we get our health through your introduction and through Engage and Dr. Prasad, but because of you and Helen, our lives have been changed financially. And I want to take this time to thank you. I know I thanked you before, but it's amazing, a career change. And when we first met in November, you invited us to Dr. Prasad's birthday, and I could not go financially. I didn't tell you that. But by the time that came, because of Engage and because of the compensation plan, we were able to go out and celebrate Dr. Prasad's birthday and meet the corporate people. And so my story is from not only a health standpoint, but from a financial and career standpoint, that we can now have access to go out and help other people. So God bless you. Thank you so much, both you and Helen. And, I remember in Charlotte, sitting next to Helen and her with her camera, with her camera taking pictures with her phone. And then Sunday, she was sitting next to Linda taking pictures with her phone. So Helen, thank you for capturing years ago your father and mother-in-law. That's precious. And so we pray for you guys all the time. Thank you for being friends. And I think Linda might have something to say.
Yeah. And what I loved, not only all of that, the ease that you did your presentation with using our brochure. That made it so clear that anybody can do this. I don't mean it as a negative, you know what I'm saying? Because you showed us by example how easy this was. Yes, Richard said to duplicate. All this this information is just, we've been in the wellness business for as long as I can remember, just about, and there's not a product or products on earth that can touch what we have here with Engage Global. And we thank you for that. And yes, that second meeting really nailed it, right? Our organization just blew up. So thank you so much. And we love Helen. Yes. So both of you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Linda and Dr. Rich. Amazing couple. I encourage all of you to just get to know them, the spirit that they bring to this family. We every weekday we do a lunch and learn, and there's a young lady that comes on, Miss Fulvia, and she needs to remind us every day as to how much she loves her micro daily family. And Mr. Wallace Garrett he's right there. Miss Marie Houston, all of these individuals that are part of our family. Daryl, who's Dr. Roberts' adopted son, just amazing people that have come together that have, I can't imagine doing life without these types of people, our best friends. So thank you to the both of you. My goodness, where has the time gone here on this Sunday evening? Many of you, like Dr. Linda and Rich, are heading off to other, with this being Palm Sunday, other opportunities. I know that there's a cantata going on right now at one of the churches where a good friend of ours is performing, and so we're going to be doing some other things still yet this evening. But as we bring this into a close, I need to talk to all of you about the significance of tomorrow. We've got one day left. Just 6 days ago, tomorrow will be 7. 6 days ago, we all found out about the incredible new product here called Sleep Boost. And this is a picture of my sweetheart right here, talking about it because we were part of the group that got a 30-day advanced supply and got to use it. And Ellen says it's wonderful. I don't want to be without it. If I get good sleep, the day is a good day. And the significance of bringing it here and talking about it right now is this special. It is a buy 2 get 1 free opportunity that only exists through tomorrow. After that, you will not see this kind of a pricing again. It was just introduced. It is amazing when you look at the formula, when you look at how it is put together, what Dr. Prasad has done in helping us truly understand the importance that it is that our bodies sleep, because that's really where we heal. And this can certainly help you achieve that good sleep. We ran out that 30-day advance supply that we got to share with you how much our lives have improved in the areas of sleep. And both of us slept good. Both of us slept really good, but we have noticed a difference as our bodies used the right amount of melatonin that is non-addictive. It uses the correct combination, quantity, and form of ashwagandha, of holy basil, and of tryptophan. These are ingredients that Dr. Prasad has put together, and it's available for all of us. I'm going to just share here briefly a 50-second long a little spot about this and the significance of it as part of this call. It's our story, and our story continues to evolve. And most recently, because of Dr. Prasad's formula here with this sleep boost. So here is the little 50-second promotion.
Wake up to a brand new day with Sleep Boost. Our natural, scientifically based supplement ensures you wake up feeling energized and rejuvenated, ready to handle anything life throws at you. Packed with melatonin, tryptophan, holy basil, and ashwagandha, it's the natural solution to your sleepless nights. Are you ready to experience the benefits of Sleep Boost? Our unique blend is designed to help you fall asleep faster, sleep deeper and longer, and wake up feeling refreshed. With Sleep Boost, you're not just investing in a good night's sleep, but a more productive and stress-free tomorrow. Tired of counting sheep? Get the sleep you deserve. Try Sleep Boost now and wake up ready to conquer the day.
Just a quick little commercial saying, you know what, this can make a difference in your life. It will add to your story. And tomorrow is the last day of the special. Also, I want to reiterate and point out that we've got another special that is running concurrently here through the end of the month. I will pull it up just so that you are all aware of it and able to take advantage of it. And here it is with our collagen limited time because of the awarding of the patent. Collagen Daily now carries a patent number 118195538. And for the month of March, all of the tubs of collagen have a bonus of 50 grams that you can take advantage of. So this is the time, this is the place through the end of this month. There's an opportunity as you enroll anybody with a core 4. They get not only a tub of collagen because it's that piece of the core 4, but they get an additional $65 tub that has 50 grams more product in. So in essence, through the end of this month, you enroll anybody with a subscription, they're going to get over $310 worth of product for just $200. Either $199 or $204, depending upon which of the hydro delivery systems that you want. So this is an amazing opportunity. As we start to close the call, I see that Chaplain Daniela, who started out here with us today, has her microphone and her camera open. Go ahead if you have a question or you'd like to.
Yeah, just a quick question, because with the new sleep product, if you're in deeper sleep, wouldn't that reduce your cortisol levels and therefore affect your weight?
Hello, thank you very much. Yes, in the last 30 days, both Helen and I are less of the people than we used to be.
Well, praise God, that's exciting. So that's another reason to get the product.
Absolutely, and thank you for coming forward and bringing that up. I don't want to tout our own, blow our own horns, but yeah, many of you could probably see it here in my face that in the last 30 days we're less the people than we used to be. So
Well, you still look great, but this is great. So it's the cortisol levels. That's wonderful.
deep sleep is
Gonna
so
bring health.
yes, 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 yes. Thank you for the question, and I'm glad I was able to provide the answer. Awesome. Okay, everybody. Any last minute hands, questions, or want to just quickly share your story? We're a minute and a half away. Thank you, Sonia, for posting in the chat. In fact, we've got some great participants there. Jeanette Dodge out of Oregon. And Zoom host has started sharing screen. Oh my goodness. Thank you for pulling that forward. Yes, I did not get this taken care of for today, but you guys, next week, collagen, what you don't know. You want to come and be part of it. It is a deep dive happening. You know, the right colors are there on the screen. It's on Easter. After you've had your big Easter dinner and you're all feeling full and things are happening, come next Sunday for an hour and get a deep dive into what collagen can do for you. So this is amazing opportunity as we close out today's call. It's been my pleasure to be here. I support Jonathan in his absence, but you guys, next week we'll all be back here. Just a brief hour on Easter Sunday, the last day of this month. Alrighty, everybody. Thank you for being here, for being with us, for adding your energy and your story. We've got an open mic